When I was like 4 or 5, when we had an encounter with ICE at a shopping mall, and my parents were like, oh, like, that's la migra. And then I was like, what's la migra? And they were like, well, they could make us leave if they catch us.
Lawrence Mann taken into custody by immigration agents while trying to pursue his path to citizenship.
On January 30th, 2017, after a routine meeting with his immigration officer, his family says Ajin was arrested and detained.
Her father was detained by ICE officials in Denver. Instead of leading her fellow students, she's leading the fight for his freedom.
My dad woke me up, we both got ready, had breakfast. I drove us to the office in Centennial, Colorado, because my dad was like too nervous and excited to drive. And then we were in the interview room, got all the questions that our lawyer had prepared us for, until she got towards the end of the file and she's like, you know, like it looks like you'll be recommended for approval, but there's just like one more thing. She asked me to leave the room. I didn't want to leave the room, but then she asked my dad to ask me. So I was like, okay, like, I'm just being paranoid. 20 minutes later, my lawyer and the interpreter came out and they weren't with my dad, and I was like, where's my dad? And then our lawyer told us that he had been detained by 3 ICE agents. My sisters haven't seen him since that morning. They haven't been able to go to visit him in person, you know, wanting to reach out to him but not being able to share any like touch or anything like that. There's this big like longing to be 21 when you have a parent who's undocumented, because when you turn 21 as a US citizen child, you can apply for your parents to obtain status. There's just like no way for him to win. If you have done everything right and posed no threat and still kind of get this treatment, it gets difficult because it sends a message to people that like, maybe you shouldn't report this crime, or maybe you shouldn't try to adjust your status so you can have legal residence in this country, because in doing so, maybe you're putting yourself at risk to being removed.